What's going on, everybody? Good afternoon. I am under the weather. I do not feel particularly good today. Come down with some kind of cold. It's been a while, so it was my turn. And yeah, I'm feeling just a little bit less than 100%. I'd say maybe even a little bit less than 80 or 70%. But we got to get to some of the guys who might be even worse off than that, because we've got some guys on this team that have a 0% chance of playing on Sunday. Got some guys who are probably around a 25 or a 50. And we got to talk about those guys. So we got the injury report out. We also have the practice report. And it's not great for the Seattle Seahawks. So let's talk through it here. We have been given some more detailed updates from McDonald as well. So we know a little bit more than what this sheet tells us. But it's not great. It's not what we wanted to see. So this is updated as of just a few minutes ago. It's actually a good thing I didn't make a video right after the initial report came out, because there have been 2 players added to the report or moved in the report since the initial one came out. So latest and greatest information from Bob Condotta here. And as you can see, we have both pieces of information, practice and game status. So let's take a look here. Game status is obviously the one that we really care about, but it's interesting to see if there was any practice time going in tandem with that. So we got 2 players who are out. We have Uchenna Nwosu, which was totally expected. I didn't expect him to play. I will say this, we're now in a little bit of a, it's a little bit of an uncomfortable spot, right? Because if he isn't back for that Detroit game in week 4, then we kind of, I mean, I don't want to put too big of a deal on it. I don't want to act like it's too big of a problem. But at that point, it would have been smart to put him on IR. And you didn't do that because you assumed he would be back in the first 4 games. So now the expectation is that he'll be back for Detroit, which is good. But if he doesn't make it back, then it's like this coaching staff kind of sort of got caught with their pants down. But he's out. He did not practice on Friday. Also out now is George Fant, which is disappointing because he practiced all week. You can actually see that he was limited on Friday, just like he was limited on Thursday and limited on Wednesday. The good news is that probably means he's very close to coming back. The bad news is that, well, I thought that with that kind of practice time, he'd be back and ready to play. But no, 1 more week for George Fant in all likelihood. Good chance he's back for Detroit. But, yeah, just not quite enough. And you don't see that often. If a player practices all week, they're probably going to play. So, yeah, Fant is out. And we also have a couple players that are listed as doubtful, and doubtful usually means out. Just being real here. If you're doubtful with your game status, you are probably not playing on Sunday, and we've got 2 of them. Jerome Baker, which is really disappointing because he was limited in practice on a Thursday as well. I know he missed practice on Wednesday, but he's also now missed practice on Friday. He's up here in the Friday column. Did not participate. So that means he went the wrong way. And that means I don't think you can expect to see him. And against this Miami rushing attack, with the way they're going to attack up front, that's not really a game you want a rookie linebacker to be playing. So Tyrese Knight, you've got a big ask this week. Let's just be real here. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be fun. The stuff Miami's going to do with that rushing attack, especially with Tua out, is going to be off the wall here. So not having Baker sucks. I'm assuming he's not playing. Also assuming that Ken Walker is not playing, because McDonald already said he's probably not playing and they expect to have him back for the Detroit game, which is great. Also great is the fact that he actually practiced a little bit today. He was limited participation. And, I mean, the fact that he's doubtful means there's at least some chance, but I'm certainly not counting on it. So that's what you have there with that collection of players. It's not my favorite, right? And while Miami has their own problems with injury stuff right now, you can see that Seattle's kind of getting reduced by little cuts here and there. Like, they still have their quarterback, they still have a lot of their star players, but you can see they're losing key pieces for this game that during the week I was kind of expecting to have. Okay, now we got questionable, and the good news is most of the players in the questionable column, McDonald has kind of indicated are going to be ready to go, right? He had a press conference where he was like, a lot of these guys, they look pretty good. So Kayvon Wallace is questionable with the shoulder injury, but McDonald already said we think he's going to be good. Pharaoh Brown, questionable. He practiced all week, so good chance that he plays. Boye Mafe, questionable. You can see that he was limited. He was limited on Thursday and Friday after not practicing on Wednesday, but McDonald already said that he thinks Mafe is going to play. Chenault did not practice today, surprise, after being a full participant the first 2 days of the week, but McDonald already said that he's optimistic about Chenault playing, so I think we're good there. Don't know what's sprung up, but maybe they're just kind of taking it easy on him. A lot of coaches do take it easy on Fridays. And then you got Derek Hall, who was a late addition to the injury report with the hip injury. You can see that he was limited, but seems to be belief that he will play. So it's not my favorite. Like, statistically speaking, you probably will see one of these players in the questionable column not play, even though McDonald has already vouched for most of them being ready to go. And you can see, like, Derek Hall practiced all week. It would be kind of strange, after not missing any time in that New England game, if suddenly an injury that wasn't keeping him from practicing kept him from playing. But I guess the good news is no Noah Fant. He had no game designation, so that means he's making progress, and he should be very close to 100%. If he's not even being listed as questionable, that's probably about as good as it's going to get for Fant this year. And you can see other guys who weren't listed with a designation: Jaron Reed, Hankins, although he was just resting, Brady Russell, Leonard Williams, which is, of course, a big one, not being listed with an injury designation, Lockett, Witherspoon, Metcalf, Dodson, and Bradford. So it's not all bad, but it's a little heftier than we would have liked, right? We definitely would have preferred to see lower numbers here. The fact that Mafe has any chance at all of not playing in this game is certainly a bummer. And I'm certainly hoping that everybody in this box here plays, and that we can survive the loss of these guys, because I'm already kind of writing these 4 guys off for obvious reasons. Okay, so that's the Seahawks side of things. You hope that things get better by Detroit. And then we've got the Miami injury report here. It's much shorter, from Adam Beasley on X. Let's go ahead and zoom in on the stuff we really care about. Grant Dubois is out. Not that that really matters that much, but he was a DNP the last 2 days, and he's out. The interesting thing here would be Raheem Mostert, because he was limited in practice all week, and now they're saying he's doubtful. And doubtful usually means you're not playing, so we can kind of assume that he's not going to be there for them. So kind of interesting that he would be able to practice, but not be able to play. Malik Washington also listed as doubtful, but knee's not a big part of what they do offensively either. The big one for them was, of course, Terran Armstead is now back. That was the question this week, and Armstead being able to make it back makes their offensive line at least tolerable. So, obviously, the things that Miami doesn't have are the things not listed here. They don't have Tua, they don't have Bradley Chubb, they don't have Odell. They're missing some guys on IR, but other than that, it's not so bad. So, theirs are, they have a few injuries that are a big deal. Seattle has a bunch of injuries that are a little bit of a smaller deal, I guess you would say. All right, so that's it. Sorry I sound sick. Hopefully you guys didn't notice it too bad, but hopefully we get better over the next day or two. See you guys later. Go Hawks.